Okay, I mentioned in another video I posted that in 2023 I did Year of the Rabbit with Carla Sondheim, which was an amazing year-long class in which she taught us a whole bunch of techniques. And at the end of the year, we had a book. And this is my book of the Year of the Rabbit from 2023. So I thought I'd do a flip through just so you can see some of the things we learned. By no means do I ever feel like I know everything. In fact, usually I feel like I know nothing. But I'm always willing to learn. And so let's get into it, as they say on the YouTube. This cover we did, there's a jelly plate background. The rabbit is done with oil pastels and then carved into with a regular pencil. I had taped over it, but the tape was not a good idea. Took the tape off and then just did a coat of medium to seal in the oil pastel. I love oil pastels. I feel like it's drawing with lipstick. So that's the cover that I chose. So this is a combination of things I learned, both as techniques and just kind of a note of things that happened. So I did plan in 2023 to do a marginalia quilt. I've done a few pieces and it still interests me, but it's not done yet. This was the original front cover. We made the pages all year and they were all different sizes. This funny little thing that says, I note again what is possible. I think you can see that. Let me take a look. Yeah, you can. I was in Ottawa visiting my friend Carol and I found what looked like handwritten note to a homeowner about selling their house. And it was just a marketing idea. So it wasn't an original by any means. But I cut up all the words and I played around with them because I am a fan of words and letters in Scrabble. And I came up with the I note again what is possible, which in this year, 2025, I really feel like that's important. Or those are important words for me. So Year of the Rabbit 2023. We drew rabbits many, many times. One theme that also comes up, which is interesting when you do, even though you're working on a project, your own themes will come in. So I have the rabbit. She encouraged us, Carla encouraged us to go across pages. This is my one-eyed moon, which led to some things. This is a quote from Austin Kleon. It says, "Show me the seams. Let me see where things come from." Again, the same rabbit again. I did put in some words that described people who are in the Year of the Rabbit, like traits they may have. And then I put in this, we learned staple art, which is a thing. What I like about Carla, she does a lot of, I don't want to say like not traditionally trained artists. There's a phrase, there's a book about it. Anyway, so she showed us all sorts of things. And one of the things she showed us was staple art. And I added it to say rule 4, consider everything an experiment. We looked a bit at surrealism, which I do really like, but I'm intimidated by. This was a rabbit in Carla's style, one of the first ones we did. But I did it anyway, just to, get an idea of trying new things. A quote from David Hockney, "You need the eye and the hand and the heart. The two won't do." Eyes came up a lot, and hands, so that's interesting. Maybe I can incorporate all three into one. It's a thought right there. I looked at a lot of Japanese prints. I can't quite quite sure why. I never know why, to be honest. Just something happens across and then I do a fairly intensive look into it. So this owl is obviously inspired by that. I liked this quote. What would happen if I were to set out with no course at all, just like in the very beginning, and see if I can stumble on something neither I or anyone else could have anticipated. I will meander. I will see what falls out in the process. I will make myself an open gate with no intention for a while. I found that one online. That's the author. Again, trying to incorporate things into a composition. I tend to be a gatherer, not an assembler, and my hope is that I will, whereas I will never not be a gatherer because it's my default setting, I'd like to assemble more of what I've gathered, if that makes any sense. I did a Holy Crow, and I'm really interested in pursuing that more. I've got a half-realized sculpture of a Holy Crow upstairs in my studio. Again, the same quote, consider everything experiment. Clearly I like that. This is a picture of little me. Again, we practice with different rabbits. She showed us how to have things that move in our books, which was fun to learn. More rabbits, more one-eyed moons and suns. This was a quote, white glue and paper from the trash, let the thing you are doing be nothing, which is, it's Linda Berry. So kind of thought of letting go and seeing what happens. It's even the little, I just realized that little flower there. This one is my least favorite page in the whole book, but it was inspired by a Starbucks mug of I think she was holding a coffee and not a rabbit, but here we are. I think this is this is a continuation from Linda Berry's words. Sometimes we are so confused and sad that all we can do is glue one thing to another. This is very true. Another create a can't rule. The only rule, it originally said the only rule is work. I don't like to work, not in the traditional sense. So I changed it to the only rule is art. If you art, it will lead to something. It's the people who do all of the art, all of the time, who eventually catch on to things. And I quite like this rabbit. He's a little strange, but I like him. One thing Carla taught us was the idea of doing a shape page. Mine was perhaps not perfectly successful, but I tried it and I did a rabbit. We did some printing with lace, which was really enjoyable. We did stitching into paper. This is a quote, there are plenty of artists who don't get exhibitions. There's plenty of art that is never seen. There is this great, powerful desire to just create something. It was Phillida Barlow. She died in 2023, and I had only just learned about her. She did a lot of sculpture, and I did get to go to MoCA, a Museum of Contemporary Art in Toronto, and see some of her work because they happened to have a show of hers. Really enjoyed it. I would love, a couple of things I'd like to get into is abstract surrealism and sculpture, which are not usually things people I'm sure think of when it comes to me, but seeing her sculptures, I really enjoyed that. This was a pocket we made, and in the pocket, just showing us how to make a pocket page to add things. I'll show that in a sec, but just inserting little things that we either used or didn't use. Kind of like treasures, I guess. More moons. I didn't use. There's another Holy Crow. This was a print that I did at McMaster Museum of Art in a class. Very enjoyable. Another rabbit that I really liked, but he never found his spot. Little portrait of me, where you photocopy a picture and then you just kind of add components to it. Didn't quite work, but it was an experiment. I tried it, and that's all that matters. Put that in there. Then we did zines, which I quite enjoyed. I'm just going to check if I'm still in shot. Yes, good. Okay. So this is my little zine. It says art time. That's me. Supposed to be going to my art room, but I pass by my art room and I go do the dishes because there's always dishes. Then I decide perhaps I'll do some laundry. And the whole time I'm doing these other tasks, my art room is just sitting there, all my supplies, patiently waiting. I move random piles around instead of going to my studio. And then I realize I'm tired and I've had enough. And I go to bed and I realize I didn't get to art today. So this is still timely, and I really like that I made that. We made the individual components and then photocopied them in such a way that they would turn into the zine. And I would like to do more zines as well. Leave them around random places. I actually have a few of those. I can just leave them wherever. That was the print classic master. Another, not sure why birds. Birds were also prominent. Another sort of Japanese print inspired. These flowers are actually stitched on soluble, so they're all made of thread, and then the soluble, you wash it away and you just end up with the thread. I learned that a few years ago, but I had them sitting around. On my birthday in 2023, my sister and I went to Canon Coffee Co. to the Aga Khan Museum in Toronto, which was also amazing. And we went and had ice cream at Butter Baker, which if you haven't been, also very good. Another, there is no path until you walk it, Ethan Hawke. Being Gen X, I do love an Ethan Hawke quote. I went to Ottawa in June, and we were encouraged to make a sculpture, which I have upstairs. This rabbit, I've done some more work on it. We were then encouraged to take a picture and then work with the filters to see what we could come up with and then stitch. Really enjoyed that. More rabbits, more rabbits. Of course, inevitably, I checked into the etymology of rabbit. I have an etymology app on my phone. I love to check up on words. I made this one-eyed apple, which turned into something later. These were some pages of a book that I had, which was about, I think it was about weaving. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it says shuttle. And then this was acrylic ink. So when it bleeds through, so you can have a two-sided piece. Shows the dates of when I finished it. I said, I'm glad I tried something new in 2023. It has helped me be brave. And this is how the book went together. It's not perfect, but I really love it. And I tremendously enjoy having something from the year that shows me themes, things that I liked, all in one space. Obviously, sketchbook works for this as well, but something about this, I'm very glad I have it and enjoyed that class. So I will link in the video to Carla's channel. You can buy her classes online. She really is an amazing, varied teacher. She teaches so many things that I had never even heard of, like the jelly plates alone. If I had just learned about jelly plates in 2023, that would have been enough. But she's very generous with her time and her curiosity, which I really appreciate. So that's my 2023 Year of the Rabbit book review. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, you can comment below. And I will bring you some more of these fairly random videos showing the things that I do. And hopefully a little more of what makes me think to do them. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.